Hello, I'm Ashley with Cool Kids Knit, and today we're going to go over common mistakes with first-time knitters and how to fix them. One of the first mistakes that people often make is dropping stitches along the way. You may not realize you did this until you've done quite a bit of your work, and then you start to notice that your piece is getting narrow, and then you're thinking, what happened? And you count your stitches, and it's not the same as what you started with. It's important that you go back and look at your rows and see where you made that mistake. If you don't go back and fix the drop stitch, it could unravel and start causing more of a trouble. I'm currently making a cardigan, so I'll demonstrate a drop stitch along the way here. So if I'm knitting and I'm not paying attention, you can easily drop a stitch. So that can happen by, if I'm knitting like this and I'm standing watching the TV and one just falls off, right? And then I keep knitting and I don't realize it, and all of a sudden I have a gap in my piece. If you see what looks like this in your piece, then you know you dropped a stitch, and it's important that you fix it, or else it'll keep unraveling and unraveling, get further and further down. I will show you how to carry it back to the front. I have 3 stitches after the drop stitch here that I'm going to want to undo. And it'd be the same if it was all the way over here. I would undo all of these stitches all the way until I get to that drop stitch. So I'm going to undo these 3 stitches, pull it out, and I'm going to want to make sure I pick them back up so I don't have any more drop stitches here. The other one and that one right there. Okay, so now I am at the section where the stitch was dropped. If you have a crochet hook, this is the easiest way. So with the crochet hook, you're going to insert it into your loop. You're going to grab this bar right here and pull it through. Undo your loop, there you go. And now I just climbed it back up 1 row. Then I'm going to do the same thing to this bar here. I'm going to hook that loop and pull it through. Oops. Just like that. So now it's already back on top, and I can just slip it back onto my working needle. And there we go. That's how I fixed it. So then I can keep knitting along. Now I'll show you how to do it if you do not have a crochet hook. I will say it is a little bit more difficult to carry up, but you can still do it, of course. I'm going to pick it up with my right needle, just like that. Okay, and it's kind of hard. You're going to have to maneuver around the stitches a little bit to get it, but you're basically going to do the same concept with the crochet hook, but with your needles. So the bar that is the closest is right here. I'm going to kind of hook it in with my needle, wrap it around. So now I have the bar on the needle and I have the drop stitch. Okay, with my left needle, I'm going to take that drop stitch and place it on top of that bar, just like that. So essentially you're just knitting that 1 stitch again. Now this technique does twist your yarn, so you're going to want to untwist the stitch. I'm just going to pick it up and twist it, put it back on, just like that. So again, we're going to do that 2 more times for these bars so that it's back up to where it's supposed to be. So with the bar right here, I'm going to take my right needle and scoop that bar up, scoop it up just like that. With my left needle, I'm going to grab the drop stitch. With this index finger, I'm going to hang on to the bar so it doesn't slip around and place it back on top. Like I said, it creates that twisted loop, which you do not want. So I'm going to just pinch it, pull it off, and twist it back on, just like that. Now I have 1 more bar to do. So I'm going to scoop it up, secure it with my index finger, take and put it on top, and twist it back. So it's actually, no, just like that. All right, so that is how you pick up a drop stitch. And if your stitch is all the way down here and you discover it, that's okay. You can still climb it back up, but the yarn will get tougher to do so. If your project is new and you just started, maybe you would find it best to just frog it and start over again. That's totally up to you with how you want to proceed with that. Another common mistake that first-time knitters make is twisting your stitches. And this can happen when you're wrapping your yarn the wrong way, or if you're picking up a stitch from the back instead of the front. I'll demonstrate with you what that might look like and how to spot what a twisted stitch looks like. If it doesn't bother you that much, you don't necessarily need to fix it. If it is bothering you and it's something you're always going to look at, you might have to frog it and go back to it and re-knit it again, which is totally fine. Okay, so for these two stitches here, I did a twisted stitch to demonstrate what that might look like in your piece. It's not very noticeable right now, but if I keep knitting along, you would probably be able to see the difference here. But I will show you really quickly how a twisted stitch can happen. You might be picking up the stitch the wrong way. Maybe you're doing the back leg like that, and then that creates that twisted stitch. See how those look different? The other way you might be making twisted stitches is if you frogged your piece and you went back to pick up the stitches, you might have picked them up the wrong direction. So let me show you here. Say I frogged some pieces. When I pick these stitches back up, it's important to go front to back. See, front to back. If you pick it up from back to front, for example, you're going to end up with a twisted stitch. The only way to really fix them is to frog it and undo it and go back to it. But it won't hurt your piece if you leave them like this. Unlike a drop stitch where you have to pick it back up and bring it, this won't hurt your piece. It might just be something that you notice. So it's up to you if you want to fix it or not and go back and frog it. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and leave them down below. Happy knitting!